So what are you afraid of? Those feelings are made up. For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up.
4 more kilometers.
Oh, there we go! They caught! This time, like the last time, I'm moving so fast, I'm ready to ride.
Frankie! Down to the inside of Hookie's off!
Messenger throws the block, and he will keep him behind him.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down. Hand over my crown. Hand over my heart. I do this for my town. I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. Turning the track up. I'll never go back down. Hand over my heart. I do this for my town. I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Welcome back to Milwaukee. We were here a couple of weeks ago, and anybody that doesn't know, this track is a track known for breaking cars and for breaking people's spirits, not to mention the broadcast people, so we'll try and keep it calm up in here. But anyway, we're here for the penultimate round of the Top Fuel Racing Summer Light Series, and this is the, wait for it, the DNC Soapbox Derby. Sam Cooper Bennett up in the booth with you, and joined with me again is Mr. Tony Chipasso. Tony, let's hope we don't have any more internet connection problems this time around, yeah?
Yeah, that kind of sucked last night, Sam.
Yeah, and I just want to throw out an apology to the guys at Major League Esports. Unfortunately, there was a lightning strike on the telecommunications tower near me, which knocked out the internet for the whole town, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah, but it kind of threw me under the bus because I had to go explain what just happened when you're texting me on Facebook through your phone going, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It was, luckily it hit that tower and not the tower that your cell provider goes through.
Yeah, they spent all day fixing it, and now we are back online, and now hopefully we shouldn't have any more issues with connection as we bring you the penultimate round here, Tony, at a very foggy Milwaukee track.
And let's talk about the elephant not in the room tonight, as this is going to be the first Top Fuel race in a long time that has not had one Mr. Ronnie Osmer in it, as Ronnie is now spending his first weekend at college. That's right, you heard it correctly, folks. The young gunner is now a college matriculation person, and I found it funny that he's got his vehicle packed to go to college, and for the first time I've ever seen the packing list include make sure race car strapped down properly, as he brought one of his race cars to college with him.
And it's, to be fair, he brought one of your favourite type of cars with him this time, though. He brought his dirt midget with him, so...
No, dirt late model.
Oh, that one too. Yeah, he brought his dirt late model, so he'll be dirt racing within driving distance of you, Tony.
Far from it.
Oh, well, close enough. Anyway...
It's 14 hours from Syracuse to Charlotte.
Oh, wow.
Unless you drive, like, the southbound end of the northbound course.
Pretty much. Well, anyway...
Speaking of southbound end of a northbound horse, I would like to thank tonight's weatherman for Yeah. Fog and broadcast don't mix, so if anybody from league management is listening, yeah, can we have this be the last ever fog race, please? Because you don't see the cars until they're right on top of the camera.
Yep. But we are going to be watching this race regardless, and hopefully it won't be the same conditions when we go to the finale next week at Indianapolis, because that would really suck if we couldn't see the cars out on track. But we can see them somewhat, and they're out there doing qualifying right now, as we're going to switch over to our qualifying session right now. And it looks like a single car qualifying tonight, Tony.
It is. First time in a long time these guys have gone single car qualifying. Michael Jeans laying down the first quick one, going first one sub 27 as he cranks off a 26.969. And Mark Walker blisters one at 26.962. So 8 thousandths of a second currently separating the front row.
Yeah, Mark Walker driving the Harley Davidson Mopar powered machine. And Jake Champion...
I'm still trying to figure out how that works. A Mopar Pro Mazda. I don't know.
Okay.
But hey, Mopar is Mopar, and I'll take it.
Yep. Winner of the first round of the season, Mr. Jeff Hollins. Well, second round of the season, I apologise. Winner at Dover, let's put it that way. Currently sitting P6 in the time standings right now as Kyle Gilbert moves his way up to P4. And Jake
Champion blisters one.
Yep. As we have very own league owner, Mr. Scott Brinson, just crawling out of pit road. Not sure what's happened to him there. He's actually come to a stop, as we're going to go to Tyler Vickery now, as he makes his way out on track to start his qualifying. And I just heard an engine blow.
So did I. I'm trying to figure out whose it is.
There comes Tyler Vickery on his flyer. Let's see where he can put this number 24 carbon... Oh, yeah.
Carbon fiber.
That was the one. My brain completely went blank then. Still waiting for the big guns to make it out on track. We still have not seen Sage Karen, Rick Raven, or... Well, we saw Scott Brinson temporarily, but he went back into pit road again as Tyler Vickery puts his car into P7 and is immediately displaced by Captain Will Kirk.
Damon Martinez cranking one off right now, coming around to get his first timed lap in. Make that... He's starting his flyer, I think correctly.
Yeah. So he comes out of turn 2 and to the backstretch here towards turn 3. As Tyler Vickery blisters one off and puts himself on the pole.
Well, pack your bags. That's the seventh sign of the apocalypse. No, I'm just kidding, Tyler. You know I love you, kid.
Damon Martinez, first lap down, puts himself into P9.
And it looks like everybody's able to pick up on their second lap, get a little more heat in the tires, able to push a little harder through the corners, and able to burn a little fuel off as well.
Yeah, we're still watching Martinez just coming out of turn 4 now to complete his second lap now. Down towards the line. Let's see what he can get here. As he goes straight to the pole. 43 thousandths of a second faster than Tyler Vickery.
And Rick Raven starting his flyer. I'm sorry, starting his second lap now.
Yeah, he put his car into 13th place.
And admittedly, this track is not one of the easiest tracks to get around. Being as the fact that it is the oldest operating racetrack in the country, unfortunately did not receive sanction for a race this year.
Poor qualifying lap for Raven.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that one. As Brinson out on track right now.
Finally able to get it out on track now, and he's just starting his qualifying run now on his fast lap now in the Team Cool Green throwback.
So that's 2 weeks in a row we've seen Scott Brinson in a Paul Tracy tribute scheme.
Absolutely, as he puts his car into P13 on his first lap. Knocked down to 14th by his teammate Paul Crumright.
Michael Jean's going 6th quick.
Yep, and Sage Karam's out on track. We'll go to him in a second. But we're going to watch Scott Brinton as he comes out of turn 4 to complete his second lap and see where he puts his car after all is said and done. And he goes up to P7. Another poor qualifying by one of the top runners.
Again, the age of this track and the fact that you've got two different surfaces is, if you notice down low in the corners, as following Sage Karam right now as he comes out of 2, that dark strip down low, that's not just rubber laid down. That is a repave of the first lane, and you definitely don't want to flirt with those rumble strips because you're flirting with disaster if you touch those rumble strips in these cars.
Yep, as Paul Crumright puts his car into P6, so he's going to be out qualifying his teammate for this one. As we're still watching Sage Karam, he's already put his car into P12. This could be a good omen, because when they put their car into that kind of Ranger position, that usually means good things on the second lap, and we'll find out right now as he comes out of turn 4 and across the line, and he puts it straight into second place. So Raven Motorsports locking out the front row here.
And I would like to point out, Sage does have a win here in the real world Indy Lights series.
Yep, so he knows how to get it done. Unfortunately, had some bad luck when we came here in the IR18s.
Kevin Paskowitz just kind of putting it around, just putting in a time. Not happy with the setup, apparently.
Yep, immediately spins it round going through turns 1 and 2. So, lucky he got his qualifying run out the way first. But that is going to do it for qualifying right now, as we are going to ask... Well, Tony, do you want to make the announcement? Because we're going to go to our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could have everybody please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. As Gopher Broadcasting's very good friend, Mr. Terry Adams, brings us tonight's national anthem.
And you join us live here from the Milwaukee Mile as we get ready for the penultimate round of the Top Fuel Racing Summer Light Series. I keep forgetting the name of this. The DNC Soapbox Derby, celebrating an anniversary of the Soapbox Derby here tonight. So that's why the race is named like it is. But before that, we're going to go to our actual race here, and we're going to go to our actual grid. Coming home with the pole tonight, his first pole of the season in both series. Mr. Damon Martinez, and he'll be joined on the front row by Mr. Sage Karam. Row 2 will be Tyler Vickery, great qualifying position for him. He'll be joined on row 2 by Jake Champion. Row 3 is Colin Scott and Mark Walker. Row 4 is Paul Crumright and Michael Jeans, and row 5 will be a disappointed Scott Brinson and Chris Walker.
Starting in row number 6 is going to see Captain Will Kirk. He's joined with Rick Raven. Kyle Gilbert and Robert Dudley make up row number 7. Jeff Hollingsworth and Carl Burke are going to roll off in row 8. Row 9 is going to see Kevin Paskowitz and Kevin O'Brien, and starting shotgun on the field, Mr. Mark McFadden.
And I'm not sure if Mark McFadden is actually in the field for this race, so...
he's still in the session.
He's still in the session, so he might actually be good then. Although I believe Sage Karam, he says he's gridded up, but he's grayed out. So is he dropped connection or something?
Not that I see. And Mark McFadden is actually on track.
So opting not to take a qualifying time, but gonna opt to stay at the back here as I'm having problems with my... There he is. The man himself starting in P19 and last 19 cars set to take the green here tonight. But no sign of Sage Karam or David Martinez.
There he is.
There they go.
Better late than pregnant.
Yeah, absolutely. So Damon Martinez getting his first ever pole position in Top Fuel Racing, and I bet he's going to be happy with that one.
Very much so, especially when you take a look at some of the names that he beat out for that front row. You know, of course, Sage Karam. You've got defending Indy Series champion. Yeah.
Scott Brinson.
Thank you.
Former
Paul Crumry is always tough here. Mark Walker's always tough here. Kyle Gilbert, never one to count out until the checkered flag flies. So, you know, to be able to get a pole in a field like this is something to, you know, to be proud of. But now they've got to settle in for 145 laps of hard-fought action here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah.
Field working its way through the 3-4 complex as Martinez is going to have the button as they give the face car a little bit of space, working its way out of turn number 4. Grandpa Papa Viagra, the Top Fuel Racing Series, Summer Light Series, it's time to get it on.
Yeah, the DNC Soapbox Derby is underway, and Damon Martinez immediately defending from his teammate. We've got somebody around already.
That's Captain Will Kirk.
And caution is out already, so let's see what happened to Kirk. Got it all wrong. Got it all wrong.
Yeah, don't blame Will on that one. Take a look at what happened as they came to the stripe.
Oh.
The car on the outside row just nerf.
Yeah, that was Mr. Rip Raven as Michael Jeans went round as well on the slowdown lap, taking Kyle Gilbert with him. Let's have a look at that one. That was a bit of a precarious incident there. You see Will Kirk going around behind them and trying to slow it down. Michael Jeans. Actually, both of them spun it trying to slow down. But Mr. Kirk, yeah, got into. Well, it looks like Rick Raven didn't realise that Kirk was down there, and unfortunately, they came together.
Green flag just came out. How do you realize somebody's not down there?
It's just one of those things when you start a race and you're just trying to get the best position possible.
This is one of those deals where, you know, people who don't wear their headsets when they're sim racing are a danger to both themselves and everyone else on track. I'll say it. I'll say it right now, and I'll say it wholeheartedly, and I'll say it to his face. Anybody that does not wear headsets, so you can tell when there's a car directly next to you, folks, if for those of you who aren't sim racers, you can hear when there's a car there. Whether or not your spotter tells you there's a car there, you can hear when there's a car there. And if you don't wear a headset, that's on you when you cause a wreck like that.
Absolutely. Well, caution number 1 is out here, came out on turn 1 of lap 1, so Not sure if everybody had crossed the line at that point, so we might have a bit of a shake-up in the field here, Tony.
There's no might about it. That caution came out. Pace car didn't even slow down on pit road.
No.
It didn't even pause to go into its staging stall. It just kept right on going. So, yeah, we're going to have well over half the field being caught behind the pace car because they didn't actually take the green.
Well, they're doubling up regardless, and we're going to get them green anyway, as David Martinez is going to get another crack at it on this restart. Tyler Vickery been promoted up to P3 now, so he got a good start himself. Just behind them is Mr. Jake Champion in the blue car, and you see Colin Scott. This is going to get confusing because he's driving a Mercedes scheme as well. There's somebody else driving.
And it's something we've always said, Sam, always be wary of anyone driving a Formula One paint scheme, not on a Formula One race car.
We've done it.
And?
The pace car's off, and we're ready to go again. See that segue then? That was brilliant. As Martinez to lead them into turn one. A clean start this time round, and Sage Karam right on his rear transmission tunnel as they're going to get the overlap going towards turn three. They're side by side going into turn three. Give that to Sage Karam as here comes Tyler Vickery. Fancy's following him through there as they go through turn four.
And had Tyler Vickery gotten any better of a start than he did, we would be back under caution. Sage Karam just chopped his nose completely off as he crossed the start-finish line.
Absolutely. So here we go. The race is finally underway properly as everybody clean around the track this time round. Everybody's still on the lead lap, so we are still rocking and rolling here. We're looking back at Rick Raven now, who's in a bit of a battle with Chris Walker and Mark Walker right behind him as well. And he's just behind Paul Crumright. No such drama so far, except for the battle between Jake Champion and Tyler Vickery. They're side by side as they come towards turn three. Vickery going to win that little dice there, as Colin Scott right behind them as well. So he's just sitting back and watching all the action unfold in front of him.
And from the looks of it, it looks like Vickery is just way over driving turn three. And in his defense, it's of the two corners at this track, it's easier to overdrive three because there's less visual markers to say, okay, time to brake, time to turn in. Going into three, like with one, you can use the exit of the pits as your marker, whereas going into turn three, you have to train yourself to look at the billboards and pick a billboard of where you want to start your turn in. So you're looking away from the direction that you're actually trying to go for a split, blink of an eye. And it's scary the first couple of times that you do it. So it's very easy to overdrive that corner.
Yep, and here comes Colin Scott now to try and pass him on the inside there as they go through 3 and 4. Vickery giving him all the room possible and actually going to let him by this time round. So Vickery not very keen on fighting this early in the race, and rightly so.
As Raven works the outside of Crumright, keeps it wound up on the high side and gets the position going down the front straightaway. Now going to set his sights on the young gunner Tyler Vickery. Yeah. As they go down the backstretch.
Oh, struggling to keep that wheel straight as they go towards turn 3. Wonder if he got a bit of suspension damage from that incident with Will Kirk on lap 1. Still able to keep it down on the bottom side and still able to take that position away. Vickery still being very passive in the early part of this race, but again, that is probably the right thing to do in the early running.
Well, you figure that we're only working lap 11 of 145. There's still plenty of time to start moving your way forward. Right now, you just want to keep the car under you and make sure that should you need it at the end of the event, you still have that fast repair should all hell break loose when it's time to go.
Yeah. And Paul Crumright now going to put a pass on Vickery as he's got Chris Walker right behind him.
Walker running a new paint scheme this week. I have to admit, I kind of think that's a sharp-looking car.
Absolutely. The Turner paint scheme on the number 23 this week. He came up to us before the race and was worried about his paint scheme because he didn't... Initially, he had a Castrol paint scheme on his car, but he didn't want it to look like Damon Martinez. He was worried about us getting confused by the identical paint schemes.
And it has happened in the past. And when it has happened, I've been less than a happy camper.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing that, Chris. Much appreciated from those of us up here in the booth.
And speaking of making you unhappy, Paul Crumrine returning in the 7-Up number 8 here tonight. And he's...
yeah.
I mean, you were happy that he ran a different paint scheme on Wednesday, but...
It was a sharp paint scheme he had Wednesday. I got to give him props for that. The throwback Newman Haas scheme, the last one Michael ran, that was a sharp paint scheme.
Absolutely. I believe it was 1998.
Something to that effect. It was for those of you that missed it, go back in the last Wednesday night broadcast and you'll see the black Haviland paint scheme.
Out.
Mark Walker getting it all wrong going into 1, and we've got somebody upside down.
That's Kevin Paskowicz. The big drama set. Let's take a look at Mark Walker working on the outside of Michael Jeans. Is also working with Will Kirk. Kirk got to make the move on the inside here going into 3, and Kirk sticking his nose in there and unfortunately getting into it with Mark Walker. Unfortunately, Robert Dudley, Carl Burke and Kevin Paskowicz all getting caught up in that one too.
So the judges' scores for Robert Dudley, 9.8, 9.8, 9.8, 8.9. Romanian judge not being as dickish as they usually are.
And
scores coming in for Kevin Paskowicz, 3.2, 2.5, 1.3, 0.9 from the Romanian judge.
Absolutely.
Not sticking the landing.
Yeah, the landing was absolutely awful. I'm sorry, Tony. Sorry, KP. So we're down on pit road right now. Everybody is in pit road. Sage Karam did get the lead. I think actually Karam stayed out. So we've got Michael Jeans, who's already down and away. Vickery is down and away. Still got a few more to come on. So a few people bringing it down pit road already, Tony. Some strategy already starting to play out here.
And understandably so. I mean, if you're not happy with the way this car is performing, at least put 2 tires on it and see what happens. Definitely Karam, Martinez, Champion, Scott, Raven, Walker, Jeans, and O'Brien all staying out under this caution.
Yep. And Michael Jeans actually pitted under the first caution. That's oh no, he was.
Well,
he was the.
Yeah, he did, and that was kind of a given because he was one of the ones involved in the caution. So
yeah, well, he didn't hit anything. He just spun it, but I guess he wanted some fresh tires just as a precaution.
and that's usually the safe way to do it. At least make sure that you don't have flat spots and just go from there.
So caution number 2 is in effect right here at Milwaukee. We're just going to step away for a quick commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Down into turn number 1. Another slide job and crossover. The brakes are glowing on that left front as we go 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Making sure they will pull up. Almost in intersection.
We're back here at Milwaukee. We're about to get things under green once again. Tony, it's your turn to get us going again.
Field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Cameron Martinez going to have control of the field as they get through the middle of the corner. Cameron going to have the button. Going to be a tough one to get by today. He does have real-life experience in this car at this track, so keep an eye on Sage Karam as pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn, and Karam has control of the field. Here we go. We are back underway from Milwaukee.
Yeah, and everybody all bunched up again. Let's hope this doesn't cause any troubles here as they make their way through turn 1. Karen got the easy getaway here. As Jake Champion going to move up to second now. Rick Raven's going to try and put a pass on his teammate here as they go into turn 3. And gets the clear.
There's no love lost between Champion and Raven, as we've seen in the past some issues arise between those two. I believe it was New Hampshire that Champion actually caused Raven to get disqualified after trying to bump draft him.
Yeah, and we all know very well that bump drafting does not work at New Hampshire, no matter what car you drive.
The only thing it works for at New Hampshire is to Kenny Irwin Jr. or Kyle Petty somebody. And for those of you who don't understand that reference, learn your racing history.
Yeah. Just behind them, Damon Martinez looks like he's struggling right now to stay. Well, he's already lost a few positions, well, 2 positions to Raven and Champion. As here comes Michael Jean's going to make the power move to the inside of Chris Walker. Also going to try and take a bite out of Damon Martinez as they come out of turn 4.
Well, if what I've heard is true, the setup that's in this car tonight is actually one that was created for a league that we no longer work with for their All-Star race 2 years ago. And the setup that is actually in the car, it's a grippy setup that it's not going to blister the tires, but once you get in traffic, the aero push is very, very real.
Yep. Everybody going pretty much single file so far in this running. In this stint, as Michael Jean's still working on the inside of Martinez as they come out of turn 2. A bit further back, Tyler Vickery's working to the inside of Colin Scott, I believe. Yeah, he is.
And they're almost 3 wide for a second going into 3. Martinez thought about going to the inside of Champion for a second there and thought better of it, realized Michael Jeans was there and went, yeah, no, that's way too early to be trying that one.
Yeah, and they were 3 wide for a second between Vickery, Crumwright and Scott. And look at Kyle Gilbert making himself known here, working to the inside of Colin Scott. Colin Scott seems to be falling backwards slightly. He is on 24 lap old tyres, so he's becoming the first victim of the old tyre curse.
And it boils down to what we were just talking about with when you're in traffic, the aero push is very real. And if you can't figure out how to get your front wing into clean air, you're going to be struggling.
Yeah, and that's definitely happening to Colin Scott right now, as he's now got Carl Burke right behind him. Ooh, Carl Burke giving Jeff Hollinsworth a bit of a push out to the inside as getting very close between Burke and Scott. Jeff Hollinsworth just ahead of Scott Brinson, and who's in a very lowly 14th place right now.
Martinez and Michael Jeans have touched about 4 times in the last lap.
Yeah. That's hard racing, as you see it right there. And I can't help but think that the next touch will end either one of those guys' races.
Well, it'll definitely end poorly, just for whom.
Not sure. Meanwhile, back at the front, Sage Karam is in the lead, but he's being caught by his teammate Rick Raven now, who has managed to keep hold of the second place. He's actually pulled away from Jake Champion.
And kudos to Will Kirk, who's on a charge right now, has just worked his way past Chris Walker, and now sets his sights on Damon Martinez.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, now sets his sights on Michael Jeans and Damon Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez finally getting the clear on Michael Jeans, so able to stay ahead of the former Top Fuel Racing Indy champion. And you're right, Captain Will Kirk still staying ahead of Chris Walker. Carl Gilbert very close. Another coat of paintwork. It'd be all over for him right now.
Yeah.
Tyler Vickery falling all the way back to P12. He's starting to fall backwards too, but he's on fresher tyres than the guys in front of him, so just having a bit of a struggle while he's in the mid-pack there.
I think Tyler is learning quickly about the whole aero push tire thing. Is Kevin Paskowitz the first one to blink, taking it down pit side?
And I kind of understand why. He's got rear wing damage, he's got front wing damage. I'm guessing he's hit something.
Oh, let me go back and look.
a look at Paul Cromroy, currently having a battle with Kyle Gilbert right now. Gilbert got the inside line as they come out of 2.
Oh, okay. Paskowicz got it all wrong going into 1. Was trying to stay high and let the guys below him race, and caught the jut out of the safer barrier, and that car just went on one hell of a ride. How he kept it on all 4, I'll never know.
Yep, so Kevin Paskowicz looks like he might be the first casualty of tonight's race, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and he's already burned his fast repair, so he's now pit farming.
Yep. And there's no too much damage you don't notice on these cars, so that's the one good thing about the Pro Mazda, other than the fact that it's an awesome car to drive. It's just, yeah, you can actually pit farm the car if you want to, which is good. Let's go back to Colin Scott. Still battling it out with Tyler Vickery, with Carl Burke right behind him. Scott Brinson having a very conservative race. He's just ahead of Kevin O'Brien. That's Robert Dudley in between them, but Robert Dudley is 1 lap down.
Rick Raven just bombed it into 3 on his teammate Sage Karam. Karam kind of knew it was coming and just let him go. And Kevin Paskowicz has put it on the hauler.
Yep. And there goes Sage Karam to the inside as well. Rick Raven relinquishing that first place almost as soon as he got it.
Got the point for leading the lap, though.
Yeah. He won't be happy with that for long, though, because you know he wants that lead back from his teammate.
Yeah, well, they better not mess around too much, because Michael Jeans has gotten by Damon Martinez, and here comes Jake Champion as well.
Yeah, Jake Champion driving for Turn 3 Motorsports. Meanwhile, David Martinez and Michael Jeans still battling it out. This time, Michael Jeans is trying the outside of Martinez. Actually, that's Martinez putting the pass back on Michael Jeans. So, Michael Jeans demoted back to P5 again. As here he comes again to the inside. Ooh, got it almost a bit wrong going through 1 and 2, and that's let Damon Martinez stay alongside him as they go down the backstretch. A lot more speed for Martinez as they go into Turn 3. Able to keep his nose out in front there as he's going to get the clear going through 3 and 4, or is he? Because Michael Jeans still got that bottom line there. Nope, he has to give it up, and here comes Rick Raven to the inside of Sage Karam as I'm saying that.
And that goes back to, with the Jeans-Martinez battle, that goes back to what we were talking about in the pre-race. Those rumble strips are not the friend of Pro Mazda.
They're not the friend of any car. I mean, you saw I don't know if you saw the broadcast from the IRA team race. Anybody that hit that, especially if your name is Garrett Maines or Chris Samard, you'll end up in the outside wall in a violent way. And speaking of violent crashes, our thoughts and prayers go out to Mr. Robert Wickens after he suffered a very violent crash at Pocono tonight, Tony.
I wasn't expecting it to be as violent as it was when I saw a replay that a friend posted on their Facebook page. And Sam can attest to this, that just the pure reaction to it was wild, because I was listening to a song in the background, kind of singing along. Just went, oh, okay, video of Bay's Pocono race. Holy fecal defecation! And yeah, it was one of those shocking moments that you're going, did he survive that?
Yeah. And I did point out that crash, the way he hit the catch fence was very Kenny Brack-esque, the way he just spun around like that.
As long as it wasn't Gordon Smiley's S. You know, that's the big key there, you know.
Absolutely.
Because Kenny Brack did come back to race again. Gordon Smiley, unfortunately, did give up his life in the crash that he had.
Unfortunately, yeah. And that's the thing about motorsports. You put your life on the line to drive at these types of speeds, and you know what you're getting yourself into when you get into those kind of situations. So I'm sure Robert Wickens knows that he's signed up for this, and yeah, if whatever injury he has got from being in that wreck, I'm sure he'll be back very soon.
We can only hope. We can only hope. You know, he's last I heard he was listed in stable conditions, so that's, good on the manufacturer and the team for prepping that car properly to make sure that, he could survive a worst case scenario like that.
Yeah, and apparently the safety cell was still intact, so kudos for the...
Right, so yeah, definitely kudos to DeLauro for making that safety cell as safe as they did.
Yeah. Anyway.
As this battle for the front is really starting to heat up with Champion, Raven, and Karam.
Yeah, just focusing on back through the pack as that was happening, but we're back at the front now as Jake Champion working to the inside of Rick Raven here. Not led any laps yet as Mr. Champion, but he's definitely going to make a go of it as he's still on the inside of the 11 as they go through turns 1 and 2. And we're on lap 43 of 145 here. We've got to be expecting green flag pit stops to be coming up very soon, Tony.
I didn't hear what the fuel fill was for this.
Oh, very close going through 3 and 4. And that could have ended all kinds of badly as they figure it out going down the back of the start-finish straight. Meanwhile, behind them, Damon Martinez and Michael Jean still battling it out for that 4th spot. Made that the 3rd spot as Sage Karam's in pit road. He's the first one to blink. Sage Karam looks like he's going to kick off a round of green flag pit stops here.
All right, so fuel fill of 3 gallons, which is 16% of this fuel tank. You're looking right around, under perfect conditions, between 40 and 50 laps.
Yeah, and
depending on how hard you're really pushing the car.
Well, he had 44 laps on his tyres when he went into pit road, and it looks like Rick Raven's brought it down pit road as well, and he has. So Jake Champion going to be given the lead at this point. As no, he's going to bring it in now. Jake Champion the next one to bring it in, as well as Damon Martinez, as well as Will Kirk. So green flag pit stops are underway here now, Tony.
And we are in that whole shuffling order as Sage Karam, the last car, first car lap down as Michael Jeans is by him. Directly in front of him. You got to think that Jeans is going to be taking it in a couple of laps anyways.
Yep. Question is, can Jake Champion get out ahead of Sage Karam? The answer is no, as there goes Sage Karam now. And Jake Champion is still in the pit exit. Not up to speed yet, and is he going to get out ahead of Rick Raven? The answer is yes. Damon Martinez gets out. Wow, side by side with Raven as he comes out of pit road. So Raven actually losing ground on Jake Champion through the pit stop. So unfortunate there for Mr. Raven.
And it all boils down to how well you can use your pit road speed limiter. Raven had a better install stop, but Champion had him cone to cone. So that's really where that came out. And Sage Karam had them both just flat covered.
Yeah, Kyle Gilbert in pit road to serve his pit stop, but he's in trouble. It looks like he might have got a penalty there as he was in his pit box for over 20 seconds there. Caught speeding in possibly.
Either that or he took 4 tires.
Meanwhile, your man in the lead now is Mr. Jeff Hollingsworth, as it looks like Michael Jeans. Yes, he is. He's just coming out of pit road now. Already lost the lead to Sage Karam. Already lost second place to Jake Champion. Is he going to get out ahead of Rick Raven, though? That's the question. And yes, he is. It's a good pit stop there, getting the jump on both Raven and Martinez. And coming out a net 3rd place.
As Hollingsworth, Crumright, Burke, Brinson, O'Brien, Walker, and Vickery all pit earlier in the event. They still have about 10 more laps before they're going to need to bring it pit side. And just as I say that, Carl Burke makes a liar out of it.
Yeah, Carl Burke in pit road now. Jeff Hott still waiting for Hollingsworth, Crumright, Brinson, O'Brien, Mark Walker, and Tyler Vickery to bring it down pit road. So expect them to come down in the next, 10 laps or so, because they've still only got 36 laps on their tyres.
And I'm thinking front, You could probably get the whole race in on the rears, but the fronts, you're probably going to want to change at least a set of fronts about halfway. Only because I know what this setup does in traffic. And it can get rough, you know, especially if you're working somebody for a handful of laps like we have seen time and time again.
Yep. And there's still no people coming down on pit road just yet in the top 6. But Sage Karam is back on the lead lap along with Jake Champion. So when Hollingsworth and co do come down pit road, expect Sage Karam and Jake Champion to jump straight ahead of them. And possibly put them a lap down.
It's going to be hard to put them a lap down. It's possible, but it's going to need mistakes. As if you watch Hollingsworth, that's Champion in front of him. And if you get the camera angle right, you can see Sage Karam about half a straightaway ahead.
Yep. I'll try and see that. I'll try and go for a far out view. But my camera angles decided to not work with me at this point.
Camera 3.
Let's try that one. There you see him just flash through the corner there as they go through the corner themselves. There you see it.
That's Karam way in the background of that shot as they're exiting the corner.
Yeah.
And that's Champion directly in front of your leader, Jeff Hollingsworth, in the throwback Newman House paint scheme.
Yeah. And it looks like they're starting to it looks like... Is Jake Champion starting to reel in Sage Karam? Because it looks that way to me.
He is.
As
he's cut the lead from north of 3 seconds down to I've got him at 1.9.
Yep, as Mark Walker, the first one in the top 6 to blink as he brings it down pit road. Question is, how long will it be before Hollingsworth, Cromrye, Brinton, O'Brien, and Vickery bring it down? We're still focused in on Jeff Hollingsworth as he's right behind Jake Champion. Paul Cromrye taking a very wide line.
And he's going pit side this time.
Yep, so that's going to give the lead of the race to Paul Cromrye. He's going to get a point for leading a lap now. Good on him. Paul Cromrye, one of those guys where we usually say if you didn't have bad luck, you'd have no luck at all.
And Vickery's going pit side as well.
Another one of the bad luck kids.
You're not wrong.
As Hollingsworth is down and away, he's already lost the lead to...
And Cromrye's in the pits.
Yep, so all it was needed was one lap to get the point. Brinton's going to follow him in, and Kevin O'Brien's actually going to stay out in the Jaguar Pro Mazda. That's a weird thing to say,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Is he going to bring it in this time? He's going to be the last driver to bring a pit side, and he is. So, Kevin O'Brien. Caution's out. Will Kirk.
Carl Burke.
Oh, Kirk and Burke. As around goes Kyle Gilbert. Find out what
So
happened.
the captain lost it in the middle of 3 and 4, and Burke spun it and backed into the turn 4 wall to miss him.
So you see there, very, yeah, he overdrove that corner going into turn 3, and yeah, Carl Burke going around to avoid him, backs it into the wall. And unfortunately, because these Pro Mazdas, they don't let you fix the wings on these cars without taking a fast repair, he's now going to have to burn a fast repair. Actually, I believe he's already taken his fast repair because he got in that wreck earlier with Kevin Pasquich.
Yeah.
So with that, Sage Karam is back at the point as he ducks it into pit road. Everybody going to bring it down this time, actually. Well, almost everybody.
Might just as well.
Why not?
Free stop.
Question is, who's going to win the race off pit road this time round, as David Martinez almost overshoots his pit box. As it looks like Michael Jeans is going to win the race off pit road here. David Martinez is going to come off pit road second. Problems for Sage Karam. Karam is staying on pit road ever so longer than everybody else here.
He took 4 tires.
Ah.
I just watched. They just jacked the back end of that car up. He just took 4 tires.
So, strategy there. Being
Yeah.
played out. Okay. So Kevin O'Brien, unfortunately, tried to enter pit road just as the well, he entered pit road just as the caution came out, and unfortunately, he's having to suffer an EOL because of it, because he entered the closed pits.
And that's he was already on pit road when the caution came out.
Yeah, we've seen this glitch before. Remember what happened to Layla?
Yeah.
When she was leading the race?
Yeah. And then it scored her 2 laps down even when she was supposed to be leading the race.
I believe that was at Daytona, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
So that hands the lead of the race over to Michael Jeans.
Yep. And he's led 4 laps already tonight, as you already know, because of him staying out due to the green flag pit stops. Tyler Vickery looking to get his lap back after being caught 1 lap down due to the caution come out during the pit stops. And there's a lot of drivers in front of him actually looking for the wave rounds. Scott Brinson at the front of that queue. Cromwright, Burke, Gilbert, Scott, Vickery, Kirk is also a lap down, I believe. Yeah, he's definitely a lap down. There he is. And for the first time tonight, we actually had our first Burke and Kirk moment.
Yeah. I'm sitting here shaking my head. Can't believe how entertaining you find that.
I know. It's the little things, Tony. It's the little things.
That's what she said. And it looks like Jeff Hollingsworth has just Alt F4'd.
Say what?
Jeff Hollingsworth has left the sim. Ah, throughput. There it goes.
Oh, okay. I'm not as think as you're drunk I am, Mr. Officer. So, Jeans, Martinez, and Champion gonna rack him and stack him up as Rick Raven and everybody else behind him staying well back for some reason.
Because reasons.
Yeah, there is that. Not sure why Mark Walker is there. He should be going to the back of the field at this point. Because he's 1 lap down.
No idea. But field working its way out of the turn 4 complex. Pace car going to make that hard left turn onto pit road. Michael Jean's going to have the button, and we are back underway as Martinez tries to throw the block on Champion. And that's something league management's got to talk to these guys about.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what brought out our first caution. That's what has brought out cautions in the past. Just guys on the green flag, and the green flag comes out, and you just make that hard left turn. Like, yeah, there's nobody here. Yeah, no, there's dudes there, guy.
Anyway, it looks like Jay Champion's going to win that little battle between him and David Martinez. He's got the inside line, the preferred line around here. So, got the bottom of the track here, but David Martinez got more speed on the backstretch, and yep, there goes the block again. As he drops to the bottom of the track to try and take the position away from Michael Jeans, and gets him. So David Martinez now your leader here. Michael Jeans is down to second, but he's under pressure from Jake Champion. And here comes Sage Karam now.
As we go 3 wide into turn number 3, what could possibly go wrong?
Everything and anything.
As flat as this track is, you definitely don't want to go 3 wide very often.
So Raven Motorsports 1, 2 and 3 here at Milwaukee. And they had the force of the way through to get there. Rick Raven, the man in 3rd place, just ahead of Jake Champion and Michael Jeans. As there goes Sage Crown to the inside of Damon Martinez.
And these guys are getting way too dicey for my liking this early in the event. Yeah. We're still not at halfway. These guys are racing it like it's the final lap.
Lap 73 will be halfway. So back further in the field, we've got Scott Brinton now up to the top 10, just ahead of his good friend Mr. Chris Walker. And Paul Crumrise there as well. Kevin O'Brien up to the top 7 here. O'Brien, we did speak to him before the race last week at Phillip Island. Was very confident towards the race. Unfortunately, did not go his way. Looks like it's going better for him here tonight, but I'm gonna knock on wood here because I don't want to jinx him at this point. As he puts him
in. When you do crash out, go ahead and just get your hate mail going. That's Sam Cooper Bennett, care of Cork, Ireland, P.O. Box OU812.
He's my teammate. He knows where I live.
So, here's the situation that we're going to be doing, folks. There's going to be 2 GoFundMes starting up relatively soon here, and that is to get both Kevin O'Brien and Sam Cooper Bennett flights from their respective countries to next year's Super Dirt Week.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, so he can throat punch you.
As long as it's not a dick punch, it should be okay.
Oh, no. That's when, we meet up with the rest of the people that are going to be flying in for Dirt Week.
Yeah.
They're going to take turns punching you right in the junk.
Dick kickings all round, yay! Anyway, David Martinez doing everything he can to hold off Jake Champion here as they go through 3 and 4. We are now officially halfway in this event.
Yay!
Jake Champion himself just holding off Michael Jeans as they go into turn 1, and Will Kirk doing everything he can to get back on the lead lap. He's fighting his way through the pack here. Doing very well. He wants to get back on the lead lap the hard way.
He's trying. Got a lot of talent in front of him, though.
Yeah. Jeff Hollingsworth is back in the server, albeit 2 laps down. That could have been worse, Could
have been a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean,
it could have been like last night's broadcast, where the main server that you're working on gets hit by lightning.
Yay! Thunderstorms. Anyway, here comes Rick Raven to the inside of Sage Karam, almost collecting him there as they go through 3 and 4. Very aggressive move on his own teammate.
Well, we've seen, team orders in the past that try not to wreck each other, but if you are going to wreck each other, at least make sure it's a Sports Center highlight. That would have been a Sports Center highlight for the ages.
Yep.
And Kevin O'Brien getting it all wrong, and who was that up? Captain Will Kirk upside down.
Let's take a look at that. As yeah, I'm officially going to get punched in the junk by Mr. Kevin O'Brien.
As Will Kirk did exactly what Kevin Paskowitz did and caught the jut out of the safer barrier.
They came back up on the track. Kevin O'Brien. Oh, no.
No, that wasn't O'Brien that he hit. O'Brien spun to, as he was kind of trying to avoid it. He didn't actually hit Kirk. However, Tyler Vickery caught a face full of Kirk.
Yeah. And Chris Walker.
And depending on how you swing, not the good way either.
Chris Walker taking had nowhere to go as well. Take another look at that. Yeah. And getting launched up into the catch fence.
And the captain has put it on the hauler.
Yep. The captain has said, beam me up, Scotty, and away she went. He's going to kill me for that.
Mm-hmm. Michael Jean, Scotty Brinson, Paul Crumry, all taking it down pit side. As is Kyle Gilbert.
Mark Walker getting his lucky dog. So he's back on the lead lap now. So Tony, let's have an Italian lesson here. What does fangool mean?
It's the Italian way to tell somebody to go have relations with themselves.
Oh, okay. Because I hear that word being said all the time, I just don't know what it means.
Yeah, it's the Italian slang to tell someone to have relations with themselves.
Okay, I'll remember that one.
And then Funata Fangul is calling someone, trying to think of the PC way to say this, less than intelligent, shall we say?
Okay. And his mother said it could be anything, so Rick Raven decided to be a pace car. Sorry to steal that one from you, Tony, but
hey, it is what it is. I didn't see it.
oh
yeah, there he goes again. You know, Rick, if you want to see what the inside of that pace car looks like, you can purchase the roof in-game.
I have it.
I have it too. Because I have the roof, it kind of makes me upset that when they brought out the Porsche, that we all didn't get the Porsche for free.
Yeah, I know, right?
Makes sense to me, anyways. Anyways.
Moving swiftly along. Lights should be off on the pace car this time round, and they are. So Ricky can stop being a pace car now and actually get back to racing. There you go. It's all fun and games in this race, you know. All these races. Everybody likes.
It's all fun and games if somebody loses an eye or a testicle, and I've seen both happen.
And hopefully nobody loses both in this race. That could be a disaster, especially if you lose an eye. You need to see the road.
When Kevin O'Brien gets his hands on you, I think you might lose both.
I won't let him anyway.
Giving him the announcer's curse like that.
I didn't mean to. He is a teammate, so you know, just.
Oh, crime in Italy.
So if you watch this back, Kevin, and you see it's me giving you the announcer's curse, please be gentle as they make their way out of turn 4. Waiting for that pace car to make that hard left turn again as we get them going on lap 81 of 145, and away we go. Rick Raven going to bring them back to the green here, but Sage Karam, did it look like he got a jump on Rick Raven on the outside again, just like he did at Pocono?
Well, let me go look. See what it looked like at the line.
Yeah, as he works to the inside of Kara.
Nah, Karam got to the line before he did.
Okay, fair enough. So, Raven almost immediately demoted back to second place as Martinez is under pressure from Jake Champion again. And here comes Robert Dudley to the inside as they go through turns 1 and 2. Where did he come from? He was one lap down a few laps ago.
Robert Dudley has fought tooth and nail to not only get back on the lead lap, but to get back into contention after one of the early cautions caught him up badly. Has already burned his fast repair, so he's got to be a little bit careful from here on out. But definitely a great drive from the kid from Alabama.
Yeah. As he's up to P4 now. Best of the rest behind Raven Motorsports, but Jake Champion has got other things to say about that as he works on the outside of Dudley as they go through 3 and 4. Dudley having a bit of a bobble as they go through 3. Strangers as they come out of turn 4, but still side by side. Actually, Champion's going to cross him over here and try and get the inside line as they go into turn 1. And he gets him. Great moves there for Jake Champion.
Well, Robert Dudley keeps his foot into it, keeps it wound up on that second lane, coming through 1 and 2. Almost touch in the middle of the back straightaway. And we're almost, we are 3 wide.
Yeah. And look behind him. Scott Brinson just waiting in the wings there. He is in P8 now. He's been there for a while, actually, but he's well, let's face it, he's in it right at this point, isn't he?
And around goes Michael Jeans.
Oh, there goes Crumwright in a big way. Big crash there for Paul Crumwright. Around goes Michael Jeans. Just see it right. No, not right there. Let's go back and find out what happened there. It's through turns 1 and 2. And I did say that, well, we both said that rumble strip will catch you out. And it caught out Michael Jeans. You see him go around there. Backs it up. Jeff Hollingsworth gives Paul Crumwright enough of a nerf that launches him into the catch fence.
Well, Sam, do you want me to give you the good news now?
What?
Before we went live, I slapped a GoPro on Paul Crumwright's helmet.
Ooh.
We can have a cockpit view of that one.
Let's go find out. You see them making their way towards turn 1 here. You see Michael Jeans getting it all wrong into turn 1 and nerf. Blap. And the judges' scores are in, I believe, Tony.
3.4, 4.2, 2.1, 0.9 from the Romanian judge. Did not stick the landing.
Yeah, landed on his roll hoop, unfortunately. So, while these guys are under caution number 5 here, we're going to go for a bit of a caution ourselves as we are going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Stay tuned.
So what are you afraid of? Those feelings are made up. For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up.
4 more kilometers.
Oh, there we go! They caught! This time, like the last time, I'm moving so fast, I'm ready to ride.
Frankie! Down to the inside of Hookie's off! Messenger throws the block, and he will keep him behind him.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down. Hand over my crown. Hand over my heart. I do this for my town. I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. Turning the track up. I'll never go back down. Hand over my heart. I do this for my town. I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. I want to leap over buildings, want to fly over the shores, faster than a lightning flash, rushing through the cool night air. So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero.
Hey, what's up, guys? Scott Speed here at the iRacing headquarters. Some exciting news about the upcoming Rallycross World Championship. They've got a wild card entry, and yours truly is going to get that spot. See you guys out on the track.
So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero.
And we are back here at Milwaukee. Tony, bring us back to the green again.
Crap, I'm not live. Field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Sage Karam going to have the button yet again. As he is right there with the pace car. So look for a quick start here. Pace car twitches, green flag comes out, and we are back live from the Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah. And Raven Motorsport's been in control of this event since the lap 50. So they're still in control of it now.
Well, technically, since the initial drop of the green.
True, but here comes Kyle Gilbert. He's got something to say about this. He's moved his way up to third place already. Gonna try and get up to his old sparring partner, Mr. Sage Karen. We all know what happened between them at Eldora a few weeks back.
Yeah, definitely no love lost between those two.
Yeah.
And Kyle seems to have one of those personalities where he makes friends wherever he goes with professional drivers. And by friends, I mean people that want to kill him.
Yeah. Who did he make friends with on Monday?
Ray.
Yeah. I remember now.
Yeah. Ended all sorts of poorly.
Yep, as here comes Robert Dudley again to the inside of Kyle Gilbert. Dudley having a pretty good run here tonight. Not usually, no disrespect to Robert Dudley, not usually one person you see at the front of the field, but he's making a name for himself here tonight.
Having a great drive. I gotta say kudos to Robert Dudley. And as of right this second, he's got my vote for both the driver of the race. Yep,
got my vote too, I think. But we've still got a long way to go here. Anything can happen at this point. Right behind Robert Dudley is Carl Burke with some...
Oh, there it goes.
And so...
My fault.
And so...
My fault. Sorry, Robert. My fault.
So you can get your hate mail coming too. That's Mr. Tony Trapasso. Actually, that's Mr. Patrick Trapasso.
You asshole.
The Greater Syracuse area, New York State, America, USA. PO Box OU812. I am an asshole. Anyway.
Actually, it's PO Box 8675309.
Yeah.
Area code 315.
It looks like Kevin O'Brien got a piece of that as well. So I'm going to get kicked in the nuts even more now. So we're both in trouble.
You more so than me, because the chances of Robert coming to Syracuse are a lot less than us being able to get both you and...
thing is, though, Robert's closer to you than Kevin is to me.
Yeah, I know, but we're doing a GoFundMe to try to get both you and Kevin here for Dirt Week. Because they run big block modifieds down under.
Yeah.
I forget what they call them, but they run them down there. As a matter of fact, this past year at Dirt Week, the gentleman that finished second was from Queensland.
Ah, okay.
Mr. Pete Britton.
And Australia, American motorsport's no stranger to Australian drivers making the names for themselves in sports. I mean, Marcus Amber is the most recent name.
Don't forget the Brabham brothers.
Oh yeah, Gary and David. And that is it. David Brabham's son that's trying to make his name in IMSA as well.
No, it's Jeff's son.
Oh.
Don't forget Jeff while we're at it, because Jeff arguably has the best string of wins in the IMSA the old GTP tour. And you too, if you have iRacing, can drive Jeff's old car, affectionately known as Elvis. We are, of course, talking about the Nissan ZX GTP.
That car is insane.
That car, growing up, that car was the one car that I lusted over almost as much as I did. Why am I drawing a blank on her name now? Kathy Ireland.
Yeah.
There were two posters on my wall growing up. One was of Kathy Ireland from the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. The other one was of the Jeff Brabham driven Nissan ZX GTP.
I was more of a fan of the Jaguar.
And I did like the Jaguar. I kind of followed the Jaguar team because Davy Jones actually drove for the same got his racing career started at the same quarter midget club that I did.
Davy Jones. Does he have his own locker?
No, but he is a former member of a singing group.
Did you get the joke though? David Jones's
Yeah.
locker. Or
Would you please stand up? I am standing.
that one, yeah. The lights are off on the pace car anyway. Kyle Gilbert going to bring it back to the green with Scott Brinson on the front row this time. Scott Brinson, if you remember, last time we were at Milwaukee, made strategy count and won the race, so wondering if he's going to try and do the same thing here tonight. He's up in the front row, but Sage Karam still sitting there in third place with Kyle Burke, who's finally used his fast repair right behind him.
Sage Karam went pit side already.
Exactly, so this could be an interesting pit start. Restart. I'm guessing Scott Brinson and Kyle Gilbert will be hoping for a quick caution here tonight.
They're only 19 laps into their stint. They've got plenty of time to go. And Karam did not take tires that last stop. Fuel only.
No, he did not, as the pace car peels off, and away we go. Kyle.
Oh, Scotty. Say it ain't so.
Don't tell me he crossed the line before he passed.
He did.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
So Scott Brinson looks like he might have problems here, but look at the scramble behind him. Rick Raven all over the back of Brinson, as there goes Sage Karam to the point. As Paul Crumride's around, and caution number 7's out, and that's the quick caution that Scott Brinson wanted.
What happened to Paul?
Lost the back end, I think.
Overcooked it, jumped on the binders to stay off of Carl Burke, and just washed it right around.
Yeah, very close to getting into the back of him though, so good. You know what? Discretion being the better part of valor. If he's going to bring out a caution, make sure you spin it yourself instead of taking someone else out. So kudos to Paul Crumride for doing that, to be fair.
I would like to point out, too, that we did have 2 more retirements recently. Michael Jeans putting it on the hauler, as did Tyler Vickery.
Not sure what happened to Vickery, because he was having a pretty clean race.
No, he
Robert
got
Dudley.
involved in that. He got involved with the one with Crumride.
You're in trouble. Robert Dudley's put his car behind the wall.
No more trouble than you're in.
Yeah, at least my guy's still in the race. And he's just got his, and he's now back on the lead lap, so, you know.
Sure.
Meanwhile, let's go and jinx somebody else anyway. Let's go and talk to Mr. Scotty Brinson if I can find him.
I got him. There you go.
As joining us in the booth is Mr. Scott Brinson. Scott, you got a copy, buddy? Hello, Scott Brinson.
Sam,
Yeah, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm having connection problems, so it's probably not the best.
Okay, we'll let you go. We'll let you go back down then.
Yeah, I'm having all kinds of connection issues.
Okay, that was Scott Brinson. Who else should we jinx?
Sage?
Yeah, I'll let you speak to him. As we're waiting for Sage Karam to be just giving
Reaching out now to our current leader, Sage Karam. Sage, Tony up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Yep.
So we saw you take tires earlier. Strategic move, or how bad are they wearing that you're going to need to do that here?
Nah, I had a end of the line penalty for an unsafe pit entry. I went over the yellow line too early, or too late. So I just figured since I was in serving a penalty going to the end of the line anyway, I'd just take tires. I didn't need to, but I just did anyways. But yeah, tire wear is pretty good. I mean, I've been running up front most of the race, so I haven't really had too many issues.
Any complaints from your teammates with how it's helping in traffic?
No, I mean they all seem to be pretty good. And we've been strong all night, all three of us. So we'll see how it plays out. It's going to be a wild finish, that's for sure. I think, you know, we can pass each other whenever we really want. So I'm hoping for a green flag pit stop. The last green flag pit stop we had, I gained about 3 seconds on the field. So I'm hoping I can get one of those, or, you know, hopefully if we just get a couple more yellows, we might not even have to make a stop. So we'll see how it plays out.
All right. Well, lights are out on the pace car. We'll let you get back to it, sir.
Thanks.
That was Sage Karam, the man in the lead right now. He's going to bring us back to green as the lights are off on the pace car. Scott is having connection problems, so one person we need to look out for here, Tony.
Yeah, starting outside row number 1. What could possibly go wrong?
Hopefully nothing, because Scott's had a strong run in the second part of this race, so hopefully nothing too bad goes towards him as we come out of turn 4 and we're going to get them going again. On lap 103 of 45, we're getting closer to the end here, and it's going to be getting closer to crunch time as the pace car peels off. And Sage Karam brings us back to green again.
3 wide going into turn 1.
Yeah. Jake Champion not wasting any time. Gets around.
No, that was Rick Raven threading the needle.
Yeah, but Jake Champion won that little dice there as he's going to try and put a move on Sage Karam here. Going into turn 3, here comes Damon Martinez now up to 3rd place.
Martinez had a good restart, and you know, his teammate Rick Raven, you got a lot of balls on that guy. You know, making that move that not everybody would have attempted.
Not at all. As here comes Rick Raven again. Going to try the 3 wide pass again on his own teammate, and to the inside and into 2nd place goes Rick Raven. Jake Champion pushed out wide, and that might hurt him in the long run as here comes Carl Burke to the inside of Champion now and demotes him back to 5th place. And here comes
Brinson.
Yeah, Brinson. On much older tyres, let's not forget, so he probably won't have the speed that he wants in that car. As here comes Kyle Gilbert to the inside of Brinson now, and Jeff Hollingsworth. He's 2 laps down, but he's not afraid to make a 3 wide here as he's going to try and get his laps back the hard way here. And with 40 laps to go as they cross the line.
Don't tease me now. Oh, wow, we are 40 left. Okay.
Yeah. Told you. Told you.
I thought you were screwing with me.
Told you, sir. Anyway. To the inside goes Damon Martinez as he moves his way up to 2nd place again. All very close with his teammate Rick Raven as they come out of 4. Carl Burke just sitting there in 4th place, dicing it out with actually Jake Champion. Champion taking very much exception to being pushed out wide there. Wants to get his positions back, makes the move look just that easy on Carl Burke as they come out of turn 2.
Flirting with that rumble strip going through the middle of 1 that separates pit road from the rest of the track. You know, you're really flirting with disaster when you're playing on that.
Absolutely. And these guys know how to race it hard, but also race it clean. As here comes Jake Champion again. He's going to try and get a 2 for 1 here as he comes out of turn 2. And he's got them. He's moved up to 2nd place. Great move by Jake Champion.
And again, flirting with disaster. He was almost down on the grass that marks pit road.
Yeah, and there's still 3 widers to go through 3 and 4. Who's going to win this little battle? It's going to be Jake Champion again. Cuts the nose off David Martinez and is just going to dice it out with Rick Raven as they're going to try 3 wide again, going through turn 1. This could all end all kinds of poorly if they get it all wrong, but they're racing very well as they're going three wide here through the corners.
Martinez shoves Champion all the way down on the grass on the backstretch.
Yeah, not what you want to see here. Very aggressive, but Jake Champion still comes out on top here as they come out of turn 4. Watch Carl Burke though, because he's right there too. Jeff Hollingsworth still fighting for his laps back. He's putting aggressive moves now. As there goes Martinez into the wall. We knew this was going to happen. As there, oh!
Jeez.
As caution number 8 comes out in spectacular fashion. Let's take a look at that again. You see Jake Champion battling it out with Raven and Martinez. And see Carl Burke in the distance there. He's the man that was involved in that initially. Gets it to the side. Jake Champion goes around himself. Gets absolutely nerfed by Kyle Gilbert. And goes into the wall cockpit first.
Nerf nothing. He just got annihilated.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
thank God this is a simulator.
There's Mark McFadden involved in that as well. As Carl Burke immediately puts his car behind the wall.
As does Colin Scott.
Colin Scott gets some of that as well? Oh, yeah, he did. He went round by himself trying to avoid the incident and just, well, more judges' scores are in for Colin Scott here, Tony. As Tony's waiting for the scores to come in for Colin Scott as he rolled his car.
8.9, 8.7, 8.8, 5.4. What? The Romanian judge is not happy tonight.
No, even though Colin Scott stuck the landing, the Romanian judge is still not happy here.
And I think it might have something to do with the number of cautions that we've had so far.
8 cautions. And
yeah, that would do it.
One of the drivers that has been involved in one of them, at least tonight, as now leading the race, Mr. Kevin O'Brien decided to stay out and get a point for leading a lap. So good on him. The resident Aussie is up there. So, yeah, I could well be redeemed at this point.
No, you're not.
No, he's bringing it pit side. Fantastic.
And Champion puts it behind the wall as well.
So, yeah, this has become a race of attrition. We knew this was going to happen before this broadcast even began, so no surprise that we've had another retirement here, as we now only have 11 cars left running out of the 19 that started.
So, Sam, if I can offer a suggestion to you.
Yes.
Camera 2.
Camera 2.
Speed cam on the backstretch.
What?
It's a speed camera on the backstretch.
Oh. I've been cycling through the cameras to find out which is the best one, and if camera 2 works, then I'll stick with that one. I'm trying to find the best camera so it sees the cars better in the fog. So
camera 2 is not bad.
Yeah. And with all the racing action we've seen here tonight, I actually forgot about the fog up until now.
It's not as bad as it could be.
It was worse at Dover. Much worse at Dover.
Sure. Now, I would like to point out that during Speed Weeks at Daytona, way back in the day, and I'm talking back 20 plus years ago, they used to have the International Super Modified Association put on a show. And it was always interesting when those cars would go around the track, because you could see all around the track if the fog was rolling in.
Yeah.
But with the ISMA cars, there's a giant wing on the top of these cars that actually dwarfs what's on a winged Outlaw Sprint car.
Yeah.
And see the fog all around the track, and these cars are racing, and there's no fog. You can see them perfectly because of all the air force being moved around. You know, you can see it fine. And then the checkered flag would come out, the cars would stop on the front straightaway for the victory lane celebration, and you couldn't see the square root of anything.
Square root of F all as they come out of turn 4. And we can see the square root of F all as the pace car peels off. As Sage Karen brings us back to green again. Only 11 cars left in this piece, so let's hopefully bring it back to the checkered flag in an orderly fashion here, as there goes Damon Martinez to the inside of Rick Raven. Gets a 2-for-1 sale right there. As there goes Kyle Gilbert diving it in. Big dive there by Gilbert. They come out of turn 4. Rick Raven going to try and make a 3 wide again, and he does. To the inside. Remember what happened last time this was 3 wide. It pays off as Gilbert's going to follow in behind Raven.
So, Sam, real quick,
yeah.
The preliminary reports are in for Robert Wickens.
Yeah.
Both ankles broken, one arm broken, and multiple fractured vertebrae.
So that's his season done.
Very much so.
And his career probably very hampered.
Career very hampered, but he's alive.
That's the main thing. So good news there coming from Pocono, from the Philadelphia area. Or the Pennsylvania area, sorry. Robert Wickens is
about an hour north of Philly.
Yeah, is alive and stable, but does have very significant injuries, which is going to put an end to his season. And
well, that could be good news for one driver that is currently in this field tonight.
Mr. Sage Karam, he could pick up a drive from this.
That opens up a full-time seat.
Absolutely. The Sage, if you're watching this back, I'd give the guys at IndyCar a call, or Mr. Schmidt a call. Rick Raven, meanwhile, he's going to be 3 wide situation again. These guys been going 3 wide a lot since the green flag fell. Kyle Gilbert really close to Damon Martinez as they come out of turn 4. Jeff Hollingsworth still fighting for that lap back, you know.
Hollingsworth still fighting for his lap back, and these guys, no quarter asked for, no quarter given so far.
Yep, Sage Karam's checked out at this point.
And almost contact going into 3.
Yep, we're just about to... We are 25 laps to go here. And looks like Kyle Gilbert is slowly winning this battle between himself, Martinez and Raven, as there goes Jeff Hollingsworth. Oh, big dice in there between Martinez and Gilbert. Gilbert not going to give it up here. And we said at the beginning, at the top of the broadcast, Gilbert was always going to be a threat. And he's definitely proving that here tonight. As they come down towards turn 1, Raven going to dive it into this contact. And round goes Gilbert. Oh, Kyle Gilbert is not going to be happy with that one.
Kind of saw that one coming, though. As it's one of those, and I mean this with respect to the guys on Raven Motorsports. It's kind of a brotherhood over there where it's, you know, don't F with my little brother. And Gilbert threw a wicked block on Martinez going down the back straightaway, and Raven kind of saw what was going on and just, yeah, no, you don't do that to family.
Yeah, you know, looking back at it, Kyle Gilbert was kind of all over the track, so...
Kind of?
Yeah, well, very much so.
Kind of all over the track?
Okay, it was very... It was...
I was going to say, I suppose next you're going to tell me David Koresh was mildly confused?
Okay, his back end was shaking worse than a stripper doing overtime.
There you go.
As we're now down to 10 cars in this event, as Kyle Gilbert puts his car behind the wall. Kind of had to, really. He burned his fast repair earlier in the race, so no surprise there. We are 22 laps to go. Sage Karam going to lead this thing, and welcome back to the lead lap, Mr. Jeff Hollingsworth. Didn't have to do all that fighting. You knew there was going to be another caution, so, you know.
Right, and just was hoping he wasn't involved in it.
Nearly was. He was right there when it happened.
True story. So the good news is, unless you're Chris Walker or Mark McFadden, you can make it from here.
Pretty much. Oh, Paul Cromrye's got old tyres on as well.
Yeah, but he could make it from here on fuel.
True story. So should there be another caution, Paul Cromrye will get back on the lead lap as well, as he will have the lucky dog next time round. But he is blinking worse than a fat kid with lemon in his eye.
Okay, now that's the one I'm going to take umbrage with you stealing from.
I kind of had to. I couldn't resist. So, Chris Walker, Paul Cromrye, Jeff Hollingsworth? Yeah, Jeff Hollingsworth and Mark McFadden bringing it down pit side. So,
now everybody can make it from here.
Yeah. Sage Karam, Rick Raven and Damon Martinez have seen off all opposition that has come at them so far in this race, but the guys that are right behind them and know they can attack them, it might be a bit more difficult to shake those guys off, as those guys are Scott Brinton and Kevin O'Brien.
And we know both of them know how to win a race. Mark Walker back on the lead lap after being 2 laps down at one point, is now right there within striking distance as well. And it's go time.
Yes.
Now is when you put him up on the dash and say, okay, here's what we're dealing with. Let's go. You know, you're 25 laps to go. You've battled this entire race. Whatever you got left it's time to show it.
Well, 19 laps to go when we go green, so it's getting to that time now, Tony. I mean, we've got Raven Motorsports 1, 2, 3, and you've got Rated R Racing 4 and 5. And then you've got the independent of Mark Walker, who's driving the Mopar-powered Mazda. That just makes sense at all. I can see what you mean there.
Okay, let me ask you this. Have you seen the Williams FW31 that I have?
Yes, I think I have.
With the Bass Pro Shops, Mossy Oak, and Mopar paint scheme on it?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
You realize how much flack I got the last time I raced that in an official race?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you got a lot of flack as we go back on the green again. Rick Raven almost immediately ducking in behind Sage Karam and Martinez. They're all going in a line here. They know that Rated R Racing are going to be coming after them. And Scott Brinson almost immediately up to the back of Martinez as here comes Jeff Hollingsworth. And Hollingsworth is another one that's no stranger to winning. He already won at Dover this season, so looking to get another win here tonight. He's already tried his best to get back on the lead lap as Rick Raven jumps to the inside of Sage Karam to take the lead here. So Rick Raven looking for his second race win of the season after he won at oh god, why am I drawing a blank?
X.
I don't know. Anyway.
X.
Where? Where?
Phoenix.
That's the one. As Sage Karam moves his way back to the point. 17 laps to go here. Scott Brinson still in P4, doing everything he can to get up to the back of Martinez. And they're all running in a nice single file line here as here comes Raven again.
Trying to use that draft as effectively as they can. And the hard part is going to be when you're about the 4th or 5th guy in that line to try to get those wings in some clean air. It's not going to be the easiest thing to do.
Yep, as here comes Damon Martinez to the inside of Raven now. And if these guys start battling, that's going to let Scott Brinson in here.
You mean like now?
Yeah, like now. They come out of turn 2. Brinson's still not close enough to the back of those 3 Raven Motorsports cars as he's got Jeff Hollingsworth to worry about here. And like I said, Hollingsworth no stranger to winning races this season. Brinson and Martinez, the only 2 drivers in that top 5 right now that have not won races this season.
No, but they've been right there within striking distance every single race.
Absolutely.
And that's why the point standings reflect the way that they do.
Yep, as Rick Raven moves to the inside of Damon Martinez and moves his way back up to 2nd place. But while they're all doing that, Sage Karam is slowly but surely extending his lead as we're within 15 to go here. 14 laps to go here now to make that 13.
Martinez to the inside of Raven through 1 and 2.
Oh, Raven with the block on his own teammate.
Again, team rules over there are try not to kill each other, but if you do, make sure it's a Sports Center highlight.
Oh,
and Brinson into the grass.
Yeah, Brinson getting it all wrong through turn 4. That's let Jeff Hollingsworth by. Not what Brinson wanted to happen at this part of the race with 12 laps remaining. You do not want to make mistakes like that, and Brinson definitely probably putting the final nail in his coffin at this point.
And just under half the field has retired.
Yeah.
Gilbert, out. Champion, out. Burke, out. Colin Scott, out. Robert Dudley, out. Tyler Vickery, out. Michael Jeans, out. Will Kirk, out. Kevin Paskowitz, out. So there are a lot of heavy hitters that have them on the hauler already.
Yeah, lots of damaged cars. But like I said before, this is what you can't expect when we go to Milwaukee. It likes to break cars and break people's spirits, and it's certainly done that here tonight. As we're seeing a bit
You're not wrong.
We're seeing a bit of formation driving here between Raven Motorsports as Sage Karam, Rick Raven and Damon Martinez all driving in formation as Rick Raven takes a bite out of the back of Sage Karam's car going through 3 and 4.
Well, Raven had the draft and Karam gave him a lane to get that left front wing into clean air as they bumped going through 1.
Yeah, that's not sports center worthy. Come on, you've got to do better than that. As here comes Karam again to try the inside pass on Raven. And Damon Martinez is going to try and follow him. And Raven pushed out wide there. That's going to let Martinez get the inside line as they go towards turn 1.
And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier with turn 3 being one of the more difficult turns in racing, period, to be able to pick up a turn-in point. Very easy to get it wrong going through 3.
Well, turn 3 at Pocono is modelled off turns 3 and 4 at Milwaukee, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But there are more visual cues at Pocono where you can turn in. The only thing you really have to go off of here at the Milwaukee Mile are the billboards on the outside of turn 3. And it's counterintuitive to have to look right just before you turn left.
Yeah. Well, look at this battle between Raven Motorsports. They're actually going at it hammer and tongs here as we are within 10 laps to go. And team orders, what team orders? We're just going to go at it right here, right now. May the best person win. And it looks like Sage Karam does have it the advantage now as they go towards turn 3. Rick Raven getting very close with it. Sage Karam as they go into 3. Pushed out wide. Here comes Martinez to the inside.
And here comes Hollingsworth.
Yeah, Hollingsworth going to try and take advantage of all this battling in front of him. And how special would that feel for Jeff Hollingsworth, beating all 3 members of Raven Motorsports simply due to the fact that they're all battling amongst each other?
Well, how good is it going to feel when all 4 of these guys wreck and Scott Brinson wins the race?
That wouldn't feel good at all for the people in that wreck. But anyway, we are 4 laps to go here at Milwaukee. We're getting down to it now. Who's going to come out on top between the Raven Motorsports guys? As there goes Jeff Hollingsworth to try and take the inside line on Rick Raven. No love lost between Hollingsworth and Raven as they go towards turn 3. Raven puts the block on him. At the front though, Damon Martinez and Sage Karam still battling it out for the lead. As it looks like Scott Brinson's joined this, the fun here.
I'm watching some of the moves going on right now, Sam, and it boggles my mind that after the broadcast last week, we heard one driver voicing concern over aggressive driving.
Yeah.
And said driver tonight has put one car into the wall and has almost killed the second driver at least once.
Yeah, pretty much. As the battling still goes on with 2 laps to go, the popsicle sticks are out this time round. When they come out of turn 4, that is going to be it. We're going to be white flag racing to the end now as they come out of turn 4. White flag is out this time by... And Sage Karam has the advantage as they go into turn 1. David Martinez trying to do everything he can to get around his teammate to get his first race win of the season. Come on, Sage, just give him one. Please. Everybody else has won in my team. But anyway, the battling still continues as they go through 3 and 4. It's going to be advantage Sage Karam as they come out of 4. It's going to be a formation finish between Raven Motorsports as they claim the top 3 spots here at the Milwaukee Mile. Jeff Hollingsworth going to come home for 4th place. 5th place is Scott Brinson. 6th place is Kevin O'Brien, who immediately parks it. Mark Walker going to come home for 7th. 8th will go to Paul Crumroy. 9th is Chris Walker, and rounding out the field in 10th place will be Mark McFadden. So creditable top 10 for the man in the 48. But night belongs to these 3 drivers here.
And I have a great idea. Let's just make the post-race interview as easy as possible. I'm going to move both of us down into their team speak room.
Oh, that would be fun. As I'm going to take a nice picture of all 3 drivers.
You were moved.
So as the formation happens on the front straightaway, Sam, I believe you got a race winner with you.
I do, Mr. Sage Karam. Huge battling at the front for most part, and coming home for the victory. David Martinez was really putting you under pressure for the most part in the last few laps of that race.
Yeah, you know, I got a little bit of practice in early this week, and it seemed like it changed quite a bit. You know, I think it was a lot harder to follow in practice, and coming in the race, it was a bit easier. So the race was a lot closer than I wanted it to be, but you know, all 3 of us finished 1, 2, 3. Raven Motorsports. It's a pretty good feeling. You know, our first one, and it's good when you know you're racing with the guys that you know and you're speaking with, so you know you can give each other some room. And me and Rick got close a couple times hitting there, and Damon was one X away from being disqualified, so we all had to kind of keep our cool, but we did. So pretty pleased with this one.
Absolutely, and you got that elusive 1, 2, 3 you were looking for. Yourself bringing home the win, obviously. David Martinez right behind you, and Rick Raven in 3rd place. I mean, you've been looking for this result all season, and you finally got it. How do you feel about that? That must be pretty special for your team.
Yeah, I mean, we were close. We've been quick pretty much everywhere we've been, and just couldn't really put it together as a team. I think the best we've done was like 1, 2, 4 or something. But to get the 1, 2, 3 now, it's pretty cool. You know, and with 1 race left in the series here, it gives me a little bit more of a cushion going into Indy, which who knows what's going to happen there with these cars on that big of a track. So that makes me feel a little special, or a bit better. But yeah, it's just a special race today, just because you know I was at Pocono earlier today, and you know, saw one of the most violent, scary wrecks of my life in person there, and one of my buddies, you know, Wicken. So you know, I was all shaken up today, and didn't even know if I was going to come in here and race today, but ended up coming on here. So giving this 1, 2, 3 to Wiki, you know, I think, you know, he's going to be having some surgery tomorrow. He's pretty banged up, but the main thing is he's alive, he's well, and he's going to make a full recovery, and we're going to see him back on track soon.
Now, you did hear what the prognosis currently is for him, right?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it a few hours before they even released it, but yeah, I mean, that's scary. It's a big hit, but when you look at the replay and you watch how violent it actually was, and for him to only come out of there with, you know, some broken ankles, of, you know, back issue and a broken arm, or I don't even know if there's a little bit more, but, you know, those are the main things, I think. And for that to only be that, it's a real testament to what Delara does. And, you know, they say, you know, IndyCar drivers nowadays are just like modern day gladiators, and it's really true. You know, when we're going out there on those super speedways at 220 miles an hour, 230 miles an hour, racing wheel to wheel, anything like that can happen. And when it does, you know, it usually happens in a big way. So, you know, big thanks to the safety crew and everything for putting, you know, those cars together the way they do and keeping us safe. Because, you know, in the early 2000s or in the 90s or something, that would have looked a hell of a lot different.
Absolutely. Going back to next week, though, we do go to Indianapolis for the finale of the Top Fuel Racing Summer Lights Series here, Sage, and it's going to be a fun one. Just give us your thoughts on that one.
It's going to be wild. It's going to be like plate racing, pack racing, whatever you want to call it. But I think you could probably be in last place starting the last lap and somehow end up winning it. So we will see. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a draft fest. It's going to remind me of my go-karting days, to be honest. So hopefully, that can play a role, and I can, take what I've learned in those and come back. This is my third win in the Mazda here at Milwaukee. I won 2 of these in real life, so to get one on the sim, feels good.
Hey, Sage, we should tell these guys, by the way, this is Rick Raven. Hey, how you doing? Tell these guys that in the Freedom 100, you were involved in the closest 1, 2, 3, 4 finish in the history of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yes, we were. So hopefully we can make it an even closer finish, and Rick Raven Motorsports can be 1, 2, 3.
And for those of you who want to see the video of that, you can YouTube search that. It's probably one of the most watched Indy Lights videos in the history of the series.
Yeah, it was literally insanity, and I wish it ended a little differently. It did. I ended up getting third in that whole ordeal, but I'll never forget it. I was just glad to be a part of it. Going 3 wide through 3 and 4 at full tilt, and being in the middle. My spotter was like car inside, car outside, and then he just went silent, and basically just had to do it all on my own there. And I'm looking out of one eye to the left, trying to look out the other to the right, and I'm pretty much cross-eyed at that point, and going down the front straight, hoping I don't run into somebody. But it was sketchy, but it was so much fun.
That's awesome.
Confirm or deny, scariest feeling in the world when you hear your spotter go 3 wide, you're the meat.
Yeah, definitely pretty scary. But when your spotter goes car inside, car outside, then goes silent, it got pretty serious real quick. So that was definitely one of the scariest moments of my racing career.
But anyway...
Well, again, congratulations on the 3rd win of the season, Dave.
Thanks.
And with that, is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's result?
I just, got to thank, obviously, the team, Damon and Rick. And, we just worked well together this whole season and today in general, and really worked on our fuel today more than any other race. And I think we lost a lot of races off fuel strategy, so we really put our time into it and picked it apart. So big thanks to them, racing clean and strategically, and thanks to you guys for broadcasting this, so my family can watch and stuff. My dad's a big fan of watching these, and hopefully we can get him on the sim. He's talking about trying to get in on iRacing, so I can hopefully get that going. And thanks for my girlfriend. She's always supportive and sits here and watches the races. So, yeah, that's it.
Okay, fantastic. Sage, congratulations on the win. Tony, I believe you were Damon.
Damon, not the finish you were looking for, but not for lack of trying.
Yeah, in my head, I'm going to count this up as a draw because I did win qualifying. So that's always a good thing to get a 1-up on.
You did. You put a blistering time in the qualifying round, and we were kind of wondering how that was going to play out on the opening lap, and unfortunately, it didn't quite work out the way everybody was hoping. But you definitely battled hard all race long, kept the car relatively clean. You were able to be around for the finish. Any scary moments that you saw from where you were?
Well, I was battling pretty much all race. It seemed like everybody was trying to get past me and Rick to get to Sage, and then we had to fight them to get to Sage himself.
Yeah.
It was one of the scariest ones in, I want to say in the lap 40s or something. I think second or third restart after everybody pit. It was me and Michael Jeans 1-2, and he tried to snake me, and I just dove it and barely missed champion and was able to get under him and take the lead.
You're talking about the 3 wide that we saw right after the green flag pit stops had just cycled through.
Yes. I think me and Michael Jeans were the only day out, maybe. We got out ahead. Yeah. I remember now.
Yeah, that was definitely
latest pick, and then me and Michael Jeans somehow got out 1-2 of the pit lanes, and then crazy battle ensued.
Well, that was definitely one of those situations that we saw up here and went, that's going to end. Yep, there it goes.
Yeah.
But congratulations on keeping the car clean, keeping it around for the finish. You got to be proud of your team for working together like that and being able to sweep the podium tonight.
Yeah, it was good. We were probably going to say we were blocking, but it was really pretty competitive between the 3 of us the whole race.
Everybody was blocking.
I was trying to pass Rick, and he was it ended up with just put cars be able to pass me.
No, the thing was when Kyle Gilbert came in and said blocking for Sage Motorsports or something. But like in reality, it was like he was trying to make it 3 wide past you guys, and that just let me get ahead. You know, if you guys don't want me to get ahead, you just got to tuck in and not battle each other. So I just welcomed him trying to pass you guys, but you guys weren't definitely blocking. Trust me, these guys did not want to lose to me tonight. Everybody wanted to win.
Everybody was left and right. I mean, Brinson did it to me on the backstretch. Jeans did it to me. Other people, everybody was moving left and right, especially towards the end of the race.
Well, and we're now talking to Rick Raven, patriarch of Raven Motorsports currently. You know, Rick, you bring up a couple of good points about everybody, you know, really, you know, trying to make a name for themselves here tonight. You know, with your whole team really having the target on its back, with having one of the real world IndyCar drivers running for you. You know, talk us through the trials and tribulations of having that take place week in and week out.
It's I've never had so much fun. I've been sim racing, like I said, for 25 years, and I've had some great teammates along the way. Some really great teammates, fun to work with. These two guys right here. I mean, what can I say about Sage Karam? Sage freaking Karam, man. He's Sage freaking Karam. He's my teammate. This like a dream. It's like I'm dreaming every week. You know, twice a week I'm dreaming. Even more than that because we practice together. Damon Martinez. Could I have found a better choice to fill out that third car that's necessary to, you know, in order to qualify for that bonus at the end of the season? Couldn't have found a better driver for the number 44. I'm just living a dream. And Top Fuel Racing, I love it. I love it so much. I've never had so much fun sim racing in my life, and that says a lot because I've had some great times sim racing over the last 25 years.
Well, hey, is it safe to assume real quick that you know, within the next couple of weeks we're going to see an 88 joining the field?
Well, we'll see. I mean, you know, like Sage said before, his dad's talking about joining, and Sage is trying to hook him up with a computer and a wheel, and you know, get him.
Yeah, but we got to get him practicing before he joins the squad.
Yeah, of course. No doubt.
We got to start him out in the Barber and the Pontiac Solstice like we all started out on in this game.
He's got to go through a rookie test like they do at Indianapolis.
For sure.
When I started out in iRacing, I did nothing but street stocks. That's all I did. That's all I ever did. That's how I.
Dude, I remember when I was like, I got into iRacing in 07, and like the only things around were Pro Mazda, Skip Barber, Pontiac Solstice, and I remember doing like nightly races, Pontiac Solstice, just like the regular. Like they didn't have hosted or anything, so like the official races at Laguna Seca, and I'd be racing Will Power, and it'd be like me and Will Power, and I was like a young kid, you know, probably 13, 14 years old, Pontiac Solstices at Laguna, and he's racing IndyCar, and I sent him so hard in turn 1 the one time, and turned him and took him out in the start of the race, and he was so mad, and then when I made it to IndyCar, he remembered my name because he remembered me taking him out in a Pontiac Solstice on iRacing.
That's hilarious, Sage.
So was there a talk at the Laguna Seca race?
You don't want to mess with Mr.
Was there a talk between you two about the Andretti hairpin on lap 1 when you guys went there in the IndyCars?
No, I mean we've been cool. Will's probably one of the coolest guys in IndyCar, and when I came onto the scene, we just joked about it and everything, and he's just like, hey, don't be trying to pull any of that now in the real cars or stuff. And I was just like, oh, sorry, dude. You know, I was like 14 years old, and you were like an idol, so I just had to stick it to you.
That's funny.
So, Damon, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, Rick got the fastest lap of the race, so we all did one thing better than the other in this race.
Hey.
Kept it pretty even. I got the pole, Sage got the win, but Rick got the fastest lap, so every little bit for everyone.
Actually, Rick got second fastest.
Oh.
Fastest lap goes to Colin Scott with a 26.0.
What are you looking at, Damon?
I'm looking at the timesheet right now, man. The red letters mean fastest lap.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at the results of the race right now.
There it is.
Rick did a 26.676. I did a 26.680. Sage did a 26.794.
So
okay.
Each one of us
I'm sorry.
Got a first.
Yeah, because I couldn't get a draft. I was leading every lap.
Ah!
Kidding, Rick, kidding.
Anyways,
Listen,
that's going to about do it for us tonight. Congratulations to everybody from Raven Motorsports.
I got something else I want to say. My interview is not done yet.
Yeah, it is.
On the first lap of the race, I hit somebody, and I didn't mean to hit him. I just started coming down a little bit because I looked to my left, and I saw I was passing somebody on the start, and I looked straight again, and I figured, okay, by now I got him, and I started moving down a little to the left, and I think it was Will, Captain Will Kirk.
Yeah, it was, and you were. I'll warn you ahead of time. You were put on blast in the broadcast for that.
Well, you know what? I deserve it, but again, I have one monitor here, and I do the best I can. I looked left, and I saw somebody.
Headphones, Rick. Headphones.
I got headphones.
Use them.
What are you talking about? Oh, you mean for the sound? Oh yeah. That's
anyway.
Definitely foolproof.
Anyways, that's going to about do it for us tonight. Have a good celebration, guys. We'll see you.
Let's go party, guys.
You were moved.
That's the interview portion of the show out of the way. But anyway, that is the top three from tonight's race. Raven Motorsports locking out the top three in tonight's race. And Tony, very happy people down there.
Very happy people down there. Some not so happy people in the rest of the sim, though. When you have 19 cars take the green and 10 cars finish the race, that's a rough one in anybody's book.
Absolutely. And with that, we are going to go to 1 second now. We are going to go to our results for tonight's race, and bringing home the win, his third win of the season, and is pretty much going to be in the catbird seat when we go to Indianapolis next week. That's Mr. Sage Karam. Second, Damon Martinez, and Rick Raven makes it Raven Motorsports 1, 2, and 3. Jeff Hollingsworth comes home in fourth. Fifth goes to Mr. Scott Brinton. Not very happy tonight. He is already, Scott
Brinton has left the building.
Yeah, he has. As we are going to go to our sixth place driver, Mr. Kevin O'Brien. Good result for him tonight. After the disappointment of
after you jinxed him.
Yeah, don't yeah, anyway. But yeah, Scott coming on with a creditable sixth place after a disappointment last week at Phillip Island. Seventh place goes to Mark Walker. Eighth place goes to Paul Crumrine. Ninth goes to Chris Walker. And rounding out the top 10, just keeping quiet all night long, was Mr. Mark McFadden.
Kyle Gilbert coming home in 11th. Big champion for 12. Carl Burke rounding out your top 13. Colin Scott in 14th. Robert Dudley disappointing 15th. He was running real well earlier in the race and just ran into some trouble. Tyler Vickery in 16th. Michael Jean, the disappointing 17th. Captain Will Kirk never really able to rebound from that lap 1 incident when Rick Raven turned down on him. And Kevin Paskowicz, yes, a rough night for KP in 17. Yep. I'm sorry, in 19.
Yep, so 19 drivers took the green tonight, and only 10 finished.
10 were still running at the end of the event.
Yep, so that is going to be your field for tonight's race, as that one is in the books, as we're going to move now to our finale next week at Indianapolis. But before that, please do check out the races we have on our broadcast schedule for the coming few days. Tomorrow night, we are after the Bluegrass State with the Paskey's Cardiac Truck Series as they get ever closer to that one and only chase. And with Ronnie Osmer gone, we are going to have a brand new champion coming up at the end of that season. So please do check that one out. And then Tuesday, we're going to have a surprise broadcast for you, hopefully. Got to finalise a few more details about that. So, but I will update you on that when the time comes. And then Wednesday, we have the next round of the Top Fuel Racing IR18 series as they go to Gateway Motorsports Park. That is going to be an interesting race there. We are off for the remainder of the week, and then next Sunday we go to Indy for the finale of the Indy Summer Light Series live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But with that being said, that is all for us tonight, as we are going to get away and make our way down to Kentucky for tomorrow's truck race. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett. Joining me in the booth was Mr. Tony Trapasso. All that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will see you tomorrow night live for Paskies.